How do you build high-performance virtual teams? With the impact we're seeing now, with the disruption of moving to the software age, the transformation to working virtually, we have to adapt and adopt patterns for high-performance virtual teams. I want to share with you the 9 must-haves of virtual teams because we do need a new paradigm for remote virtual work, teams working together and producing awesome results. So the 9 must-haves for virtual teams is a topic for our project bite here. We'll go through the first 3 and I'll keep the last 6 till later on. The first 3 are develop clear goals and plans, form effective communication, and improve and maintain positive relationships among project team members. And I'm Michael Neer. I'm the president of Sapir Consulting. I'm sharing expert practical know-how with teams globally and now remotely. I have a YouTube channel where you can learn more about Kanban and Agile techniques. I have many QR codes throughout this presentation. All you have to do is grab your phone and just point it with the camera to the QR code and the phone will do the rest. I've authored 12 books on influence, consumer experience, lean agile, and I deliver a lot of these talks about team performance, influence, agile, and the impacts of COVID-19 on the gig economy. It's not magic. Truly, honestly, it's not magic building high-performing teams, highly effective remote teams. We know what to do, but sometimes we forget. And it's important that we stay focused on the simple 9 must-haves in order to build high-performing teams. So first must-have, we want to develop clear goals and plans. I call this team working agreements. And it's so obvious. It really is obvious. And many times people just forget. So as an Agile coach and as an enterprise Agile expert, I make sure I validate, I verify that the teams I work with take about half an hour, an hour. Maybe it's a once a month thing to revisit, what is this team for? What do we need as working agreements to work better together? And it's nice that everybody's on the team does that together. But if it's a very big team, a Zoom meeting of 15 members on the team, first of all, it's too big of a team. However, if you have 9 or 10, what I like doing is using a concept out of liberating structure and breaking the team into pairs, letting each pair think about the clear goals and directions and the working agreements, and then coming back, debriefing and sharing. So that's a very important concept. Rather than have all the team work together, 10, 11 folks, and then nobody's necessarily speaking, break them out and then come back and maybe do another round of breaking out into bigger teams. So first do teams of 2 and then teams of 4, and then report back to the bigger team to talk about those very important clear goals and plans. The second must-have, form effective communication. Their communication has to be transparent and focused and related to the team goals from the first must-have, right? So we need to ask ourselves, what are effective communication? For example, do we turn the video on for every call, or is it okay that sometimes the video is off? How do we use asynchronous type of communication? Is it accepted? How do you Slack, Team, all these great technological tools? We need to ask ourselves what would make effective communication for a team and actually capture it in our working agreements. So be sure to make it explicit rather than implicit. The third must-have, improve and maintain positive relationship among members. So first off, there's a lot of intuitive kind of thinking that goes into that. You want to observe the virtual gestures. And they're apparent if you notice what people are doing rather than what they're speaking. So, be tuned to what other team members, their behavior and their gestures, even in the virtual environment. Actually, in the virtual environment, it's even easier to kind of catch on these gestures. And many times the out affects the in as much as the in affects out. What I mean by that is that if you're sitting in a team meeting and it's virtual and it's a 9 Zoom screen or 9 Hangouts or Team screens, whatever is the tool that you're using, if you're thinking that something is amiss, trust your intuition. Many times it's a valid intuition and you want to bring it out forward. Maybe say something like, oh, I've noticed that. I've noticed that is a very powerful statement, because instead of saying, hey, Bob, hey, Sally, how are you feeling? If you take ownership of what you're seeing, it's a very powerful statement to drive the team to high performance. So instead of telling what you think about others, which is called projection, by the way, or projecting, ask others and share your thoughts, right? It's a very powerful, powerful tool. That's the third must-have. And you want to remember one important thing from Maya Angelou. She said, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. In the virtual environment, this is accessibility. It's stronger, because you can't, if there's a real meeting of face-to-face, you walk out of the room, you see that someone was upset, you can take them to the water cooler, so to speak. We don't have virtual water coolers. It's hard to know. The meeting is done, you don't see that person maybe for a day or two, and you're risking alienating them, right? So you want to make sure that that you maintain this, right? Maybe it's a 5 every day. It's a 5, quick kind of chat. Hey, what's going on? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And that's something, I've been doing now, the virtual interaction for about 10 years. Now with the impact of the remote work due to the COVID pandemic, and I think also beyond, we'll have much more of it. So we need to adopt these short interactions, 3-5 minutes, jump on a call rather than just writing and emailing or texting or in a chat. Just drop a quick 3-minute call that's daily, or maybe every 2 or 3 days. So to check up on how people are doing and maintaining these positive relationships among the virtual members. So if you're part of the 20-minute offer, stay here with me. But if this video just stopped for you, just make sure to check out more on Podia, where you can find the full 9 must-haves, and find me on Amazon. Remember, all these QR codes are for you to snap, and you can invite me to speak at your event if you want to learn more. Whether you're a PMI chapter, a bigger organization, a profit, nonprofit, I'm always happy to share my thoughts about how you can bring awesomeness and high performance to your teams.